Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of this video. So I started part 1 in the previous video. If you've not watched it, I'll drop the link and you will see it, or you go back after this video and you watch. This one is for everyone that you have the tendency to be chasing after prophets and prophecies. Please be careful. That's one of the ways my sister fell into their heads. She always loved personal prophecies. I remember when the Joy Solomon lady put out prophecy and put her name and made it specific to her and put it up on her Instagram story. My sister was excited about it. She showed us, look at what Joy Solomon said. He mentioned my name and everything. And a lot of Christians do this. So I'll give a story of a particular lady. So this person's friend or sister was telling me about this story, real life story, about a lady that met someone. I can't remember how they met, maybe online or he came to meet her somewhere, but gave her a prophecy that seemed to be accurate because the prophet, in quote, was telling her things about her that nobody should know. So she was like, wow. And you know that feeling when somebody gives you a prophecy and tells you specific things and you're like, how did this person know? Of course, immediately you believe and you assume that is God. And so she was shocked, and this person came harmlessly, told her certain things about her life, and she was wowed. And this person just gave her guidance, just go pray, made it very subtle, like there was no, he didn't have anything that he wanted to profit from, and he left. But what the lady did not know, that he was trying to buy her trust. And he continued. He said, okay, I'm going to pray for you. You also pray. And sometimes these guys are very smart. They'll tell you, go pray. You go hear what God is telling you. Because they know that the moment they put those words in you, you may not hear clearly what God is telling you again because they've sown those words into you. And so this lady went, and after a while, they kept communicating, and gradually she began to trust this pastor or this prophet. And after a while, they kept praying. Then gradually, the prophet came again, gave another prophecy that I perceive that you're in the relationship with a so kind of person. Describe the kind of person to her, and she was taken aback, like, whoa, how did this man know? God is really guiding, speaking through him. And she felt like, God has sent a personal prophet to her, and of course, praying and everything. Then gradually again, the prophet will come again, will say, this is what I see about this person that you want to get married to. I'm picking some things that is not really right. Go pray about it. But basically what he was doing, he was beginning to sow doubt into the lady's mind concerning the person she wanted to get married to. And it kept on like that and like that. And she began to pull away from that relationship and was already planning to end the relationship, or even ended the relationship. Just to find out later that that prophet was sent by her ex. So the person she was dating before was the one that got that guy, gave the guy those information that she didn't know that this guy knew, because she didn't expect anybody to have those information. So the ex gave the guy that information, and that guy was using the information to give to this lady as a prophet. And she was believing. And that's how she ended the relationship. And what was the ex motive? The ex motive was he didn't want her to marry the person that she was now dating, because obviously he was jealous or whatever reason. And so he brought in somebody to act as a prophet, and this lady was falling for it. You see, I'm telling you this story to realize that people can maneuver, can take prophecies, take words, and use. Sometimes what some people even do is to go and find out information about you. We've heard stories of pastors that will want to go preach in a church as an invited guest, but before they get to the church, they would have found somebody to give them information about certain people. And when they come, of course, because they are guest ministers, nobody knows them. You guys don't know them. You feel like they should not know these things. And there on the pulpit, they begin to call certain names. There is an Abraham here. The Lord is saying this. And before you know, the Abraham like, whoa, how did this person know? Not knowing that they've gone to get information. You need to be careful when you have that appetite for it. You're always looking forward to, you're always going from one prayer house to that prayer house, one prayer group to that prayer group, one prayer meeting to that prayer meeting, looking for one prophet or that prophet to give you specific prophecies. You will most often fall into their trap. But it doesn't mean that we don't have genuine prophets or genuine prophecies. Please don't despise prophecies because I'm saying, but I'm saying don't take their word for it and fall for it. You have the Spirit of God to check in. Another story I will give is one I'm going to talk about in another video. This happens to be a lady that in the UK was doing well, attending a church, and suddenly the pastor gave a prophecy and gave a specific word on who she's going to get married to. And that was how this guy that the pastor talked about that should be her husband, they started dating and they got married. This guy happened to be the brother of the pastor. But of course, the lady fell for it, rich lady, doing well and everything. To cut the long story short, after about maybe 5 years or so, real life story, I'm talking about in the UK. I think the lady is a Ghanaian or so in the UK. About 5 years later, this guy killed the lady. Of course, they had issues and the rest. That will be another video. I'm going to analyze it, talk about it and the rest. But I'm just saying, be very careful. When people begin to see prophecies over you or your family, every now and then is you. Come on. Be very careful. So before I go on, I just want to encourage you, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel, click the notification icon so that you can be notified when I come up with new videos. And one reason why I want you to do that is because a lot of people need to know these things. It's so sad when I hear stories of family members that are suffering because one occultic group or one church or whatever has manipulated a family member. Just the other day, I did a live video of one of the family members of the parents of one of the victims of that group. You need to watch that video if you've not watched it. And it was so sad seeing the parents talking about how they feel hurt because they've not been able to reach out to their child. When it comes to even giving, I'm talking about financial giving, seeds and everything. Don't let anybody coerce you. You see these things that we do or pastors do where they will say, okay, there was a need in the house or something, and you say, okay, 10 people come and give $1,000, $10,000, 1,000, 50,000, all this thing. Come and put pressure. It is wrong. It is wrong. The Bible says, let every man propose in his heart what they want to give. Even when we tell people, go and pray, let God talk to you. So, for example, we're having a service now, and I say, okay, we need to raise maybe $10,000 or whatever amount, and I say, pray that the Lord tell you what to give. Now, while it sounds nice, I'm telling you to pray so that God can tell you. So, in a way, I might be manipulating you because I want you to decide at that moment. That's why I'm telling you, pray so that God will tell you. What the Bible said is that let every man propose in their heart. The Bible does not even say let every man go and pray to God. It is not God that should decide what you give, because the Bible said, God himself said, when you give sparingly, you will reap sparingly. When you give bountifully, you will reap bountifully. Meaning that you yourself, you determine the harvest. So if you want to reap bountifully, you sow bountifully. If you want to reap scarcely, you sow. It is your prerogative to decide. Don't let anybody put pressure on you. One of these story among the stories I've been hearing, and in my investigation, I realized that most of the time these guys will collect, and they will keep collecting. You hear stories of people that will drop their cars, drop their landed properties, drop things that in their clear eye they wouldn't, and that's because the pastor or the prophet or the apostle, whatever it is, has been using coercion. They've been forcing you or manipulating you. No. Then also, when they talk about people that have left them, so people leave that group or leave that church, and then the pastor or the leader begins to talk about those people in a very bad way and begin to tell the other members to ostracize themselves from that particular person, is a red flag. Somebody left a church or left a ministry, came to your own church. When they came, you did not have an issue with them. You did not say, no, go back. You accepted them warmly. You were excited. God has brought you new members. Now, this same person decides to leave and go somewhere else. You have a problem with it. You're talking bad about the person. You're making it look like this person is a very bad person. And it's not just one, not just two, but it's the practice. You need to watch it. Is a red flag. And a lot of times, what people don't realize is that when they do that, they're doing it because the person that probably has left has noticed certain things about the church or the pastor or something like that, and this person has left. So they don't want you to go talk to the person to find out why this person left, so that you to yourself, you won't leave. So be very careful. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. And also, let me say this, that ministries, churches, groups, or pastors, whoever, that talk in this light that people leave their church or leave their ministry and they go down, meaning that things become bad for them. They don't get better in life and everything. Is a red flag. The question is that why should people leave your church or your ministry or your prayer group or whatever it is, and suddenly things are bad for them? Why? We come up with things like covering. Because they left the covering. You see, that covering thing is something that you need to ask yourself. Did your pastor die for you? No. Did your pastor give his life for you? No. Jesus Christ that died for you has not covered you enough. Now you want to come under the covering of your pastor. Please tell me where it is in the New Testament where the Bible talks about it. Now, of course, a pastor or a prophet or whoever can use some scriptures, manipulate the interpretation, and make you feel like you are under their covering. It is not true. It's not biblical. Yes, the Bible mentioned the fact that God has made pastors overseers of the brethren, of the members. Overseers in the sense that they are helping, they are overseeing your growth in the faith, and their walk with God, not that you come under their covering, meaning that when you leave their church or their group and everything, your life begin to go down. These are just tactics that are being used to keep you in that ministry. When you left where you were before you came there, what happened to the covering of the previous person? So let's be careful. It's a lie from the pit of hell. And they will sow lies into you. And most of the time, why sometimes it seems like it is true is because when they sow that lie into you, you believe it. And when you believe something, you are strengthening that thing. You're giving it the power to manifest in your life. You believe that when you leave that church, your life will go down. Your life will go down. You will be thinking that it is what they said, but you don't understand. It's called self-fulfilling prophecy. You are the one that believed it and you gave it power to manifest. So it's also another red flag. Then also sometimes they begin to mount pressure on you to be a leader. Now, of course, it's the joy of every pastor for his members to rise, or prophet or whatever leader, for his members to rise into leadership. It's very good, and it's something every pastor will want. But you see, you should not allow anybody mount pressure on you. You must be the leader when you are not ready for it or whatever. No. The Bible talks about we doing things willingly. And when I say this, I'm not saying this against the church or anything. I believe in the church, and I'll keep saying it again. I believe in the church. I'm a pastor. I'm still serving in the church that I'm serving as a leader. So I'm not saying this to make you leave the church or make you feel that there's no good church. No, there are good churches everywhere. Then on that red flag is that they make you dependent on them rather than on God. And you see something that sometimes these guys are very smart. They'll tell you things like, go pray to God, go talk to God. But they know that they've put those thoughts in your mind. When you go and you want to pray, you'll be hearing those words. Let me ask you, because have you ever done something bad, maybe watch pornography or something, and you are praying, even in the midst of your prayer, those images are coming to your mind. You wonder, but I'm talking to God. It's a holy moment. How come? Because you understand that we walk through our mind, we pray through our minds, and the devil knows it. And the devil knows it. And he can bring thoughts into your mind, even in the midst of praying. So let's be careful. Let's be careful. Another sign is when they begin to promote their doctrines that contradict biblical teachings. They begin to tell you things like, names of angels that were not recorded in the Bible. What do you need those names for? They're going to tell you realms and dimension, portals and everything. We need to be careful. Mysteries. We need to be careful. Then also any prayer group, church and everything that compels you to only listen to the leader's message is not a good one. You see, the leader cannot know it all. Even Paul said we know in parts, meaning that we don't have all revelation of the entire scriptures of the Bible of God. So any minister or pastor or whoever that tells you, only listen to me, is not good. It's not any group that tells you, a church that tells you they love you more than your family. Run away, run away, run away, run away. If God wanted to put you in that family, he would have probably put you in that pastor's family. Run away. Any prayer group that threatens you with dropping you off because you can't keep up with their activities. They tell you if we're going to drop you and everything. Red flag. In fact, as they're threatening you, just leave. Just leave. Just leave. No. You committed yourself to a church. You decided to serve. You decided to be part of it. You should not be coerced. Now, of course, you should be motivated. You should be stirred up to increase your zeal for the Lord. You should be stirred up, but not forced. Not forced. Then also any church or group or so that does not care about family time. Because I've been seeing it in a lot of people's stories. You become so committed in that church or in that ministry, and your commitment in your family prayer time is reducing, and they don't care. They rather you just keep doing their own, and family time, family prayer time, your responsibility to your family, your spouse, your children, and everything is going down. Is a red flag. See, serve the Lord with your capacity, serve the Lord with your heart. But you must be balanced. You must be balanced. I'm a passionate person when it comes to the things of God. My wife knows it. But I've told myself, no, my family will not suffer for it. Any pastor or bishop or group leader or so that feels like questioning him or her is a taboo, is a red flag. Are you God? Are you KBOC? We cannot question. We make it look like their word is final. Nobody's word is final. Nobody's word is final. They are all bound to make mistakes. We are all bound to make mistakes. There are a lot of signs. If you have all the signs that you've noticed, please drop it in the comments. Let us share our experiences so we can all learn. We can all learn. Let's protect each other. Let's speak up. When something doesn't feel right, speak up. Don't hide it. If you notice spiritual abuse wherever you are, a church or a group or anything, speak up or leave. So please, let's share this video. Let's talk about it. Do what you can do to make sure that this doesn't happen to you, your friends, your relatives, or even your parents, because it happens everywhere and it happens to all gender of people. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any question, feel free to drop it in the comment. If you have any other ideas or signs, feel free to drop it in the video. And if you've not subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Bye.